I'm Lindsay Thomas, and I own Garland Bags, which is a high-end luxury handbag line. I've had many career changes, so I kind of floundered for a while and looked for things that I thought would be kind of the responsible path. Tried out many careers, and mortgages was one of them, and tried out advertising for a while, and did various things, and sort of found my way into a more creative path. By happenstance began to sew, learned how to sew, and began making pillows, and decided to become a pillow maker. And then fell in love with fabrics while I was kind of pursuing that line of work. And through my love of fabrics, ended up trying out a clutch one day and got a great response from that, and ended up making clutch handbags, which is just I zigged when I thought I was gonna zag, and then now here I am. I always was very creative and had a lot of creative interests. I think when I was young, I felt like I needed to do something more serious. And so even though I was definitely creative-minded and really happiest when I was being creative, I, as a younger person, I guess maybe felt like that wasn't a legitimate kind of pursuit. And so I tried to do things more businessy and a little more serious, and did fine in them, not great. I never excelled that much. You know, I wasn't horrible, but I just didn't feel like I had found my place in any of the things that I was doing. I did fundraising for a while. That was particularly hard for me. And so I think that just as I got older and I had kids, and so then now I had a need or a desire to try and do something that had me home more and more available. What can I do on my own? Make something, and I had along the way learned to sew, just to pick up a hobby, and did get good at that because I loved it and I loved doing it and I wanted to do it all the time, and so I got really good at it, and then that became, well, I can make something and I've got good taste, and you know, what if I try this? And my husband, bless him, he's a banker, and so, you know, a banker's spouse comes to them and says, I'm gonna make pillows for a living. You know, that's not comfortable for him, but he never has stood in my way of doing any of this, and has faithfully supported these efforts, and you know, thanks to him, I was able to sort of try it out. Becoming a mother. Prior to that, very, you know, 8:30 to 5:30, sitting at a desk sort of jobs, which just to me, that was normal and that's what you do. And then once I had kids, once I had my son, I was still working full-time in a pretty intense job. And it just was very hard for me to be away from him for so long. And just eventually decided I cannot do this kind of full-time, high-intensity, evenings traveling sort of job. This isn't going to work. And so that really got me to shift to more of a part-time pursuit, and then through that, just kind of finding my way into, well, what can I do that fits the life that I need to live right now? And that really, it just opened my mind, I guess. My mom was a very successful banker, also surrounded by bankers. For SunTrust, she worked her way up to, I mean, towards the very top, and accomplished things that I'm, you know, forever in awe of. Particularly, you know, looking back when she was pregnant with me, she was getting her master's degree. And I mean, just went back to school about a week after she had me by cesarean section. You know, really hard-driven. She accomplished a ton, and she's got this really amazing balance of nurture and pragmatism. She's a very thoughtful person and action-oriented, and I think that she just handed me a lot of, I don't know, ideals in life, and also she's my #1 person that I go to for advice. I love humor, and a lot of my, what I do with my bags revolves around humor. So I do a lot of a social media presence with them, and I tell these little stories about my bags, and they're funny, or they're supposed to be funny. And so, I love the idea of just me being someone who brought lovely things into the world and made people laugh. Just kind of I want someone to have a good feeling when they think of me.